Let's talk about teaching. Now, this summer, I interviewed loads of school kids about politics, and for me, it was an absolute joy. What do you think a lion would be like in -20? What do you think? Very good. Very good. What about a woodpecker at 14? Excellent. Yeah, it was really good. And it got me thinking, it'd be great being a teacher, hanging out with funny kids, watching their minds grow, playing a vital role in society. But then when you look into being a teacher, oh my God, it's one of the hardest jobs in this country.
The number of teachers signed off with stress has almost doubled in the past 5 years.
71% of London's teachers say they've had physiological or mental health issues at work.
1 in 5 said they'd suffered from panic attacks. Over half had struggled with insomnia or difficulty sleeping, while 17% had been formally diagnosed with depression.
No wonder they're depressed. Class sizes are getting ridiculous. I read a story the other day about a class of 64. How can you teach 64 kids? You take the register and then the fucking bell would go. Imagine dealing with 64 primary school kids. 1 is hard enough. I was helping my little cousin with his homework the other day and I went, if you had 9 apples in one hand and 5 in the other, what would you have? He looked at me and went, massive hand. And some of these little bastards are feral. Listen to this, right? There's been a massive surge in the number of primary school students attacking teachers. Who punches a teacher when they're 7? When you're 7, you should be eating Skittles, trying to poo out a rainbow. Not headbutting your maths teacher. And they're not just attacking them in person, they're also having a pop online. Have you heard about Rate My Teacher, right? This was written by a primary school pupil. She is the worst teacher ever. At the end of the year, I'm setting her on fire. Who says that when they're a kid? They shouldn't have Rate My Teacher, they should have Rate My Parents. If your 6-year-old is writing that, then you need to be sterilised. Take some responsibility for what swam out of your balls or fell out of your fanny. And when the... Yeah, damn right. And when the comments aren't vicious, they're just ridiculous. One parent from Bristol said a teacher was patronising, rude, and couldn't motivate a squirrel. Nobody can motivate a squirrel. It's a fucking squirrel. I've never seen a squirrel TED talk. How did I get ahead in business? Well, it's a long tail. It's not even the most insane criticism. This is honestly one of the maddest headlines you will ever read. According to an expert, teachers who avoid touching children are guilty of child abuse. What? It's child abuse if you don't touch kids. It's mental, isn't it? Show me an adult where he didn't touch you. That's going to be the weirdest confrontation ever. Just parents, oi, Mr. Hall, why didn't you touch my kid? Not hot enough for you, is he? Uniform not tight enough, is he, Hall? Don't you ever leave my kid alone again. Am I making myself clear? Not really. And teachers aren't just being battered by parents and kids. Austerity is smashing them too. Their real terms pay is decreasing year on year. They work longer hours than almost any other teachers in the world. And they've got to make savings of $3 billion a year by 2020. And what are they doing? In the face of these cuts, behaving like fucking heroes. Some teachers are buying pens, pencils and paper out of their own pocket. They're dipping into their own savings to help our children. That is selfless and beautiful and shocking. Imagine the pain of being hit in the back of the head with a rubber, knowing that you fucking paid for it. And they aren't just giving them pencils. Teachers are feeding hungry school kids whose parents are too poor to give them breakfast. How amazing is that? Are you chewing? No. Well, have this sandwich. Any chance your dad could stop going on the internet and calling me a pedo? They're looking after our children. So why aren't we looking after them? Because teachers are vital. I had two favourites at school. Number one was Mr. Jones. We used to do that thing where you angle your watch so the sun reflects in his eyes. He went into the store cupboard, bought out a full-length mirror and went, "How do you dickheads like it?" And number two, Mr. Andrews. He gave me a Lee Evans video and changed my life forever. I mean, I was hoping it was a porno, but the point I'm making, teachers are vital. They make children dream bigger, strive harder, and achieve things they didn't know they were capable of. They are wonderful. Every time I watch this, it reminds me how important they are. Look how this teacher changes this boy's life.
Hello.
Hold on, miss.
Musharraf has had a severe stammer since childhood. On top of his English lessons, Mr. Burton is giving Musharraf extra help outside the class. Today, he wants to talk to him about an important part of his English GCSE, the speaking exam.
If I give you something to read out,
Oh, yeah.
OK, I am your audience. Okay. Tap it out as much as you need. Sing it if you need to. Can we, right, one thing, and it's only because I watched the King's speech quite recently, all right?
Okay.
One thing he does, right, because it's a very similar thing to you, in that he just can't get the words out. But one thing he does do is he makes him listen to some music, right? And then when he's listening to the music, gets him to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, that's right.
Go for it. 1, 2, 3.
That I own this is the same moment when the trees turn loose. The soft arm from around you, the birds take back their language. The cliffs...
Fisher.
The cliffs fissure and collapse. The air moves back from you like a wave and you can't breathe.
Bloody hell. That's insane.
Yes. Come on. I want to thank you today for letting me speak in front of all of you. I want to especially thank Mr. Burton for helping me overcome my stammer. I really want to thank you all for listening, and I hope the best for all of you, to all my fellow students and teachers.
Important.